Welcome to my channel and stream. Um, Thank you if you're watching this later when it's been posted, by the way. My name's Sunny. Today I'm reading The Pilgrim's Progress out loud, and you are sitting on my bed, and normally my dog is not also on my bed at the same time. So if my dog jumps off the bed, you might fall over. I'm definitely predicting that might happen. But anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah. Okay. So today is actually a really short chapter. So yeah, I mean comparatively with our past chapters. So all right. This one's called, well, actually the book I'm reading, this version, it sections the chapters. So this one's 2 sections. The first one is called Taking the Easy Path. Then I saw that the pilgrims went on their way toward a pleasant river that King David called the River of God. But John called the river... I'm so sorry, I did not read that. Okay. Also, I'm so sorry. I should have said, actually, I don't even think I need to say this, but I just got home from work. Hi, Dina. Hi. Welcome. I was going to say, I just got home from work. I still haven't changed. My hair has been up in this clip all day long. So, yeah, I just didn't really feel the need to change anything. So, sorry for my little bit of a rough appearance, but there we are. Oh gosh, thank you so much. Okay, here we go. I saw that the pilgrims went on their way toward a pleasant river that King David called the River of God, but John called the River of the Water of Life. They were delighted to find the way following the bank of the river, and they drank from it to refresh their weary spirits. I'm so sorry, Dina. How are you? Thank you for joining and watching. Seriously, welcome. Vincent, my man, how are you? We haven't talked in a while. So happy here. I just started the chapter. You guys haven't missed anything. I'm so happy. Okay, thanks for watching. On both sides of the riverbank stood green trees with all kinds of fruit, and they ate the leaves to prevent sickness as well as to provide other medicinal benefits. There were also beautifully adorned meadows full of lilies on both sides of the river, and it was green all year long. That sounds nice. Feeling safe, they laid down in the meadow to sleep. When they woke, they gathered fruit from the trees and drank from the river once again, then laid back down to sleep. This continued for several days and nights, and then they sang, "Look how these crystal streams do glide, to comfort pilgrims by the highway side. The green meadows, with their fragrant smell, produce dainties for them, and who can tell what pleasant fruit and leaves these trees do yield? We'll soon sell all, that he may buy this field." When they were ready to resume their journey, since they were not yet at the end, they ate, drank, and then left. Before they had gone too far, the river and the way split off from each other in different directions. They were saddened, but dared not venture off the way, even though the path became rough and their feet were sore from walking. But it wasn't long before they became weary and discouraged and longed for an easier path. A little ahead of them, on the side of the road, there was a set of steps built over a fence that bordered a meadow, which was called Bypath Meadow. I hope for you. Oh, thank you. Christian said to Hopeful, "If this meadow runs alongside the way, let's cross over into it." He hurried over to the steps to investigate, and sure enough, found a path on the other side of the fence that seemed to run parallel to their own. "This is exactly what I was hoping for," said Christian excitedly, pointing over the steps. "This path will be much easier. Come on, Hopeful, let's cross over." Hopeful was hesitant and replied, "But how do we know this path will not lead us off the way?" "That's not likely," said Christian, beginning to travel the new path, finding it much easier on their feet. Suspicious. Oh, I'll tell you in a second. They had not traveled too far when they spotted a man walking on the path in front of them, whose name was Vain Confidence. They called out to him and asked him where this path led. "To the Celestial Gate," he replied. See, said Christian, smiling confidently at Hopeful. Didn't I tell you so? This just confirms that we are heading in the right direction. They began to follow Vain Confidence, but as night came and it grew very dark, they lost sight of him. It was so dark that Vain Confidence could not see the path in front of him and fell into a deep pit. This pit was a trap specially prepared by the king of those grounds to catch vainglorious fools. When he fell in, his body was broken into pieces. Christian and Hopeful heard Vain Confidence fall and called out to see how he was doing, but there was no reply. They only heard someone groaning. Where are we now? Asked Hopeful, visibly concerned. Christian stayed silent with the fearful realization that he had led Hopeful off the way and into danger. Suddenly it began to rain thunder and lightning in a most dreadful manner. The rain came down in streams and began to flood the path. Hopeful groaned inwardly and said, "Oh, if only I had stayed on the way." "Who would have thought this path would have led us off the way?" Christian asked as his confidence was beginning to quickly fade. Hopeful. Hopeful thought. I had my fears from the very beginning and expressed those to you with a gentle warning, Hopeful said, obviously irritated. There you go. Perhaps I should have been clearer, but you are more mature in the faith than I. You are such a good friend. Please do not be offended, said Christian with sorrow in his voice. I'm so sorry that I led you off the way and exposed you to imminent danger. Please forgive me, Hopeful, as I did not act with evil intent. Hopeful warmly placed his hand on Christian's shoulder, even as they were now becoming soaked from the rain. Say no more. I forgive you and have no doubt this will be for our good. I'm so glad to have a merciful companion with me. Christian then immediately turned his attention to the matter at hand. Let's not stay here any longer, as we are in danger. Let's try to go back to the steps right away. In that case, I'll lead the way, said Hopeful as he started to turn back. No, said Christian, grabbing Hopeful's arm. Please let me go first. Then if we encounter danger, I will be first to deal with it, since it's my fault for leading us off the way. Absolutely not, said Hopeful, raising his voice to be heard over the rain and thunder. Your leading us would not be a good idea, since your mind is still troubled and might lead us farther off the way. Then they heard an encouraging voice saying, Let your heart be toward the highway, even the way that you formerly went. Turn and go back again. But by this time the flood waters had risen much higher, making traveling back to the way very dangerous. It was then that I understood that it's easier to leave the way when you are on it than it is to get back on it. Still, they made every effort to return, but it was so dark and the floodwaters had risen so high that they nearly drowned 9 or 10 times trying to return. Even with all their skill and determination, they were unable to make it back to the steps that night. Eventually, they found refuge under a small shelter and sat down awaiting daybreak, but being exhausted, they fell asleep. Woo! Okay, so that's the end of that section. So I'll just take a second. Vincent, if you're still here, I'm sorry. Camp was really fun. You're so cute. Sorry. I was helping with the pottery class all week. And we were working on turtles. They're so cute. I'm probably gonna post a picture of mine on Twitter or something so you can see it, but I can't pick it up because it's, oh my goodness, it's fragile. So the turtles, you can take the shell off, and we like punched holes in the shell, and you put like a little, and you put like a little tea light inside, and the light like shines through the shell. It's so cute. We worked on those all week, and yeah, super fun. The only thing that I didn't like, no, the camp was amazing. Everyone I worked with at the camp was really nice. I actually, all the volunteers that helped in general were great, but also that helped like with our class was really great, so that was cool. There's this one girl, she's like really young, I think she was like 14, was helping, and we both like made our own turtles with the kids, so that was fun. She was really cute and sweet and nice, but anyway, so I was gonna say the only downside or part that I genuinely got really sad about, at the end of the week, so basically it's like a music and arts camp, right? So at the end of the week, the kids you know, they were learning all kinds of new stuff. They had like Irish dancing and guitar, and I couldn't even tell you, violin. Oh my gosh. Ukulele. I don't know. They had like so many classes. I couldn't name them all to you, but they were learning how to do these things all week. So at the end of the week, all the parents come for the they were able to like perform. They did like performances of everything they learned, and you know, everything that they made with the arts part was like on display, and the parents come to see it before picking them up and all that stuff. So I was so excited the whole week. I was so excited for the end of the week to see their performances. I was so curious what Irish dancing looks like and stuff like that. And like they have like Chinese calligraphy. I was so excited to see that. And everything. And I was like the most excited to see the other kids' reactions to all the turtles we made and the parents' reactions, because these kids were talented and so creative. The turtles came out so beautifully, and we had all the turtles from all 4 classes like all in one table all together, and it's so colorful and adorable. I was just really excited, right? That was going to be like my reward for this exhausting week. So the 4th class leaves, and I'm excited to go down and watch the performances and meet all the parents. I wasn't aware that they wanted us to help clean and reset the classrooms that we used to like how they originally should be. And they didn't want to wait. So everybody like immediately, while the parents were still there, the performances were going on, they wanted us to do that while that was happening. So all the helpers were cleaning instead of actually watching and being with the kids. So, yeah. So, and I'm like really fast. I'm trying to clean up our classroom. We're like moving tables and getting like chairs set up in a certain way and like resetting everything. I'm doing it as fast as I possibly can so I can get back downstairs in time to see just the turtle part, just the reactions. By the time I get back down there, everyone was gone. All the turtles were gone. Even my sister, my little sister, was a camper. My family had already left. I didn't even get to see them either. Um, so I called my mom. I mean, I came down and like, I mean, I was expecting to like turn the corner and still see all the turtles. Everything was just gone. And then I was like, okay, well maybe I can at least see my family. I go into the like sanctuary. Everyone's gone. And I just was like, I called my mom and she's like, yeah, we just left. I mean, when I tell you, I got to my car and immediately broke down crying. I cried. I was very upset. Yeah, I was trying to hold it in so that they didn't feel bad. I was the only, but that's the thing. I think it's total, you know, that nobody else felt like that. Like, I was the only one that actually was bothered. And when I tell you this only took like 25 minutes, we could have just waited 20 minutes. I don't know. And I was the only one that was upset about it, so I was like keeping that to myself until I got in my car. But so sad. But anyway, I'll show you my turtle after I get off this stream. I can't pick it up because then you can't tell when its shell is on it, but the head already broke at the neck, but you can't see it while the shell is on it. So I can't pick it up right now, but oh yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. If I ever volunteer for that camp again next year, I'm absolutely telling her that before camp even starts. Like, this should be a thing because I feel like I got a turtle out of it, but I feel like I didn't reap like any real emotional reward from the week. No, but I loved the kids in my class. I wish I got to work with more of the kids at the camp, but yeah. Anywho, that's how it went. It was fun though. Yeah, dude, the head fell off. I mean, immediately. I was very gentle with it. I don't even know what caused that. I think I just made the neck too weak. But it's so cute. So I'll post it and I'll show you. You'll see on Twitter. But anywho, okay, this chapter is so short. We already got one section done. Only one more section. It's called, oh, but how are you? How's work and such? All your 2-3 jobs? For sure. For sure, for sure. I don't know what to name it, but I know I want it to be a boy. Maybe Templeton. I don't know. Okay. This is called Trapped in Doubting Castle. Not far from the place where they were lying. Hang on. Sorry. I remember that. But it's good. That's good. Okay, cool. That's good. I'm glad you're doing good with both. Still so jealous you work with horses and you have like a work cat friend. So cute. Okay. Not far from the place where they were lying, there was a castle called Doubting Castle. Giant Despair, the owner of the castle, got up early the next morning to walk up and down his fields and found Christian and Hopeful asleep on his property. The pilgrims were rudely awakened by the gruff and brutal giant, demanding, "Where are you from, and what are you doing on my property?" They explained that they were pilgrims who had lost their way. "You're trespassing and have no right to trample upon and sleep on my property. You must come with me right now," he said, forcing them to go along with him. They had very little choice, given that he was bigger and stronger, and they could say very little, as they knew they were at fault. The giant drove his prisoners like cattle all the way to his castle and locked them up in a very dark dungeon cell. Christian and Hopeful's spirits soon became discouraged in the smelly and nasty cell. They laid there from Wednesday morning until Saturday night without any food, water, light, or even someone to ask how they were doing. The dungeon was a sinister place, far from any friends or family. It wasn't long before Christian became depressed, knowing it was his hasty advice that got them into this mess. Giant Despair had a wife named Diffidence. As he was going to bed that evening, he told her about what he had done, explaining how he had taken a couple of prisoners and thrown them into his dungeon for trespassing on his property. "What do you think I should do with them?" he asked his wife while getting into bed. Diffidence was very curious about these new prisoners and asked, "You good?" He's so cute. Whenever he knows I'm looking at him, he immediately is like, "I love you." I feel like your little noises in the background might be distracting now. Maybe. He's so cute. He's so cute. Best benefit. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Have you given her a name?
Oh, yes. Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. It's so sweet.
Thanks. A little late. What's up? Oh my gosh. How are you? That's okay. We were just talking about the camp I just volunteered at. Bella. Oh, I think you told me that. This guy is hanging out with us this time. Wait. Debo. Nope. He will never look at me when I want him to. He just won't. So.
Love you.
Yeah. What is up, though? How are you? I'm just fixing my little phone thing. Okay. Ah! You're gonna fall. Okay. I'm trying. Okay. You might fall. Sorry. Okay. I had it perfect, and then I wanted to show you my dog. Yeah, how are you? Sorry. I literally just got home from work, so haven't even changed anything about my appearance from work, so I'm a little bit, no, I'm still in training, so I'm like a tiny bit brain dead from the training overload, but it's been great, so I'm hanging in there. Oh, I feel that. Very sleepy. I'm adjusting to this new wake up at 5:30 schedule. Very sleepy. I'm sorry though. It's rough. I feel it. But it is good. I love my job. It's been amazing. Alright, we're kind of almost done with this. Actually, it's been such a short stream. If you guys want... No. I really don't. I don't think I can do it. So I'm feeling like I'm getting sick again. I always know when I'm about to get sick. I mean, I can feel it coming on, so it's great. It's a great feeling when you just know. So, not when you just know, when you feel like you're getting sick. It's great. It's like impending doom. So I think I'm getting sick again. So I really should rest as much as I can. I was about to say we could read a chapter of Peter Pan. We haven't done that in a while, but I probably shouldn't. I should go to bed. So, meh. Whatever. I don't know when I might stream Thursday. We'll see. Tomorrow I got invited to hang out with some girls, which I've never done. I'm so excited. They're really cool. Like, they're actually cool girls too. So, I'm gonna hang out with them. It's like an art night at one of their houses. And we're just gonna work on art projects. I'm so excited. Anyway, yeah, I'll show you what I make. But I did make, let's see, I made that piece of art hanging right there. I can't really show you from here. I was actually thinking of posting some new like art that I've made and my siblings have made recently on Twitter, because it's all really cute. Awesome. So I'll do that. I'll show you. But that's one of them. It's not that impressive. I actually made it it's very hasty. It's just a bunch of different colors, but I like it. But anyway, I'll probably stream. So tomorrow I'm doing that. I'll probably stream on Thursday though for our other book. And if I feel energized enough, we can also read some Peter Pan, because gotta make some progress on that one. It's been a minute, but okay. Blah, blah. Diffidence was very curious about these new prisoners and asked, "Tell me more about them. Who are they? Where did they come from and where are they going?" The giant told her everything he knew. Already Diffidence did just the likes of Christian and Hopeful, and quickly offered advice. "Tomorrow you should go down to their cell and beat them without mercy." When he got up the next morning, he grabbed a short, heavy club and went down into the dungeon and began to beat them like dogs, even though they showed him no disrespect. After starving them for 5 days? His attacks were so severe that they could not protect themselves or escape. Once he had finished, the giant left them there for the rest of the day to grieve and mourn in pain. That night, Diffidence talked with her husband once again about the prisoners and discovered they were still alive. This time she advised him to recommend suicide to Christian and Hopeful. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just realized I did not mean to say that. Wow. I didn't know they were gonna say that. That's harsh. That's heavy. I should just say she advised him to recommend to Christian and Hopeful that they should what? End their lives. That's still really heavy. This book is very dark sometimes. I'm so sorry. I wasn't ready for that. Jeez. I thought she was just gonna say go kill them, but that's worse. You should just I don't like that. Okay, God. Like as someone who's personally dealt with that and had very close people that I love in my life deal with that, I'm so sorry. Okay. Girls' Day. Yes, Girls' Day. Very excited. It's my buddy's birthday. Oh, that's so amazing. I hope you have fun. That's awesome. Okay, wow, sorry. If they say that again, I'm just gonna... The next morning, the giant went to the dungeon in the same surly manner as before and noticed how sore they were from the beatings he had given them yesterday. Since neither of you are very likely to ever leave this dungeon, your best alternative is to yourself. You can use a knife, a noose, or poison. Wow, give him options. Jeez. He said, laying those items down in the cage. Oh my gosh. Why would you choose to go on living seeing that your life is filled with so much sorrow? This is a bad guy, okay? Don't think this way if this is how you feel. I've been there. It's not. It's not the way, okay? Don't choose it. I'm just going to put that out. I hope you know that. It's really not it. It's not worth it. Okay. Shouldn't be an option. Okay. I don't like this. I'm getting triggered. They begged him to let them go, which only made the giant furious, and he rushed to kill them. Undoubtedly, he would have succeeded, except he fell into one of his seizures, which often happened on a sunny day. During these fits, his hands became temporarily paralyzed, so he left them alone to consider his advice with the tools he had provided. After tomorrow. Oh, yay. Okay, cool. Probably definitely Thursday. Yeah, I just don't want to say any term. I don't like the topic at all. So I'm down to talk about it if someone asks me about it, but I'm not just gonna. I don't like it. I don't think there's a nice way to say it at all. So I've heard that the unalive thing, but I just don't like any of it. So okay. Christian and Hopeful began an intense discussion about whether they should take their own lives, as the giant had suggested. Hopeful, said Christian, visibly distraught and rubbing his sore head. What should we do? This is a miserable life to live. As for me, I don't know whether it's better to live like this or die by my own hand. My soul chooses strangling rather than living, and the grave seems a more desirable place than this dungeon. Okay, stop. Okay. He paused for a moment, lowered his voice, and said, What do you think? Should we take the giant's advice? I know. Okay, we already know Hopeful, because his name is Hopeful. He's not gonna feel the same, right? Okay. I don't like it. Okay, we're good. Yeah, no, this book was written a long time ago. Hold on. This book was written, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay. I was just thinking, I've said similar things to myself at times, so. Okay. Wait, don't tell me. 16th century? It was a long time ago. I'm not talking 1800s. I'm talking way earlier or something, so. Yeah. It's wild, yeah, for sure. They touch on, they basically touch on all of life's, like, struggles. So, especially, like, spiritual struggles, so. It's heavy. Okay. I gotta blow my nose. I don't know. It just says, I always had good intentions to read this book. Sure, it's a classic, and probably every Christian should read it, but each time I tried, I felt as though I needed a 16th century translator. So I guess it was written in the 16th century. I'm not finding it in the book. It's very old. That's all I know. Okay. Oh my gosh. The version I'm reading is very simplified. It's not written this way. Like, I own the real one, which I don't have with me right now. I think it's in my car. I own the real one, and I wanted to read the real one, but the book study, the group that I'm doing it with, they want us to do this, like, study guide on the book. So for us to all follow along at the same pace, we had to read the same version together. So I was encouraged to get this version. But it's usually like harder to understand. But yeah. I don't know what, I'm very curious now what like actual verbiage or words he chose to use for, I wonder if he actually used that word. Anyway, gotta go now. Okay, well, I'll probably stream Thursday, but just look out for Twitter, I suppose. I hope I see you. Have a good day. Have fun with your friend. Happy birthday, friend. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, Hopeful. Here we go. In pain, Hopeful eased his back against the cell wall for support as he sat down. It's true that our present condition is horrible, and I would welcome death rather than live in this misery forever. But don't forget what the lord of the country where we are heading has said: do not murder. This includes another person, or by taking the giant's advice, and ourselves. Besides, when you murder someone, you can only commit murder of that person's body. But to yourself is to kill the body and soul at the same time. Hopeful could tell he was starting to get through to Christian and continued. And beyond that, since you're talking of an easy grave, have you forgotten that hell is reserved for murderers? For no murderer has eternal life, and let's also remember that giant despair does not have control over the law of our Lord. It's my understanding that there have been others like us that have been captured by him and yet escaped. Oh, interesting. Writhing in pain, he slowly turned himself and faced Christian. Who knows? Perhaps the God who made the world may cause giant despair to die.
Okay? You okay? You can come sit over here with me if you want. You're so cute.
Sorry.
We're never going to get through this chapter. This is a rough one.
I love you.
I love you so much. You're so cute. You're so soft. Okay.
Stop looking at me so cute. I gotta read.
Love you.
I love you. He's looking at me like sideways. You okay?
Are you okay? Did I pat you too hard? No.
Okay, sorry.
I love you. I do. Yo. Okay.
Almost done. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I'm reading it now. If you want to go back and listen to my past lives, it's just not the real version, which I don't like, but it's okay. Who knows? Perhaps the God who made the world may cause giant despair to die, or at some time or another he may forget to lock us in, or sooner or later he might have another paralyzing seizure while he is with us and lose the use of his hands. I can guarantee you that if it happens again, I will muster up enough courage to try my hardest to escape. I was a fool to not have tried it earlier. However, my brother, let's be patient and continue to endure. Perhaps a happy release is in our future, but let's not be our own murderers. Yeah, Hopeful. Let's go. Sorry. There you go. Hopeful's words helped ease Christian's mind as they continued together in the dark that day, depressed and in pain. As evening approached, the giant went down to the dungeon to see if Christian and Hopeful had taken his advice. He found them alive, but barely so, as they were malnourished and beaten so badly with severe wounds that they could hardly breathe. But as I said, he found them alive and fell into a furious rage. Sorry. Seeing that you have disobeyed my advice, I will now be worse for you than had you never been born. The giant was seething as he left, slamming the cell door behind him. Instantly they were filled with fear, and I think Christian fainted, But after coming to, they continued to discover whether it was best for them to take the giant's advice and end their lives. Once again, Christian was tempted to do so. Christian, do you not remember how brave you were before? Said Hopeful, doing his best to encourage him. Apollyon could not hurt you, and neither could all that you heard, saw, or felt in the valley of the shadow of death. Look at all the hardship, terror, and grief you've already experienced. Are you now nothing but fear? Remember that I, too, am in this dungeon with you, and a far weaker man than you. This giant has wounded both of us and has deprived me also of any food, water, or light. But still, let's exercise a little more patience, persuaded Hopeful. Remember how courageous you were at Vanity Fair? You were not afraid of the chains, the cage, or even a bloody death. Let's persevere with patience just as long as we can, at least to avoid the shame that isn't suitable for a Christian to be found in. Later that night, the giant and his wife were in bed, and she asked him, Did the prisoners take your advice today and commit suicide? No, they are strong scoundrels, he said angrily, as he could not seem to break their spirits. They would choose to stand firm under hardships rather than to take their own lives. Diffidence was beginning to think she would never be rid of Christian and Hopeful, and said, Take them into the castle yard tomorrow and show them the bones and skulls of those that you've already killed. Then make them believe that the same will happen to them by the end of the week. That's a stupid idea. Watch. When morning came, the giant took Christian and Hopeful to the castle yard and showed them the remains of other pilgrims, as his wife had suggested. These were pilgrims like you once, he said, making a broad gesture to the castle yard. They also trespassed on my property as you did. When I saw fit, I tore them to pieces, and within 10 days, I'll do the same to you. Now go. Get back down to your cell again. He beat them all the way back to the dungeon, and they lay all day on Saturday in the same miserable condition as before. Oh, damn, I really thought the sun was going to take him out. Never mind. That was dumb. Sorry. I feel like that is going to happen, though. It's got to be. It's the only thing I can think of. Night came, and Diffidence and her husband were once again talking about their prisoners. The old giant was amazed that neither his beatings nor his counsel that they should take their own lives had worked. Sorry. Diffidence began to feel uneasy. I fear they live in hope of being rescued or have hidden tools on them to pick the locks and will escape. You think so, my dear? The giant said curiously. In that case, I will search them in the morning. On Saturday, around midnight, Christian and Hopeful began to pray and continued praying until morning had nearly come. Now, a little before dawn, Christian had a sudden revelation and became very excited. What a fool I am, Hopeful. I've been lying in this stinking dungeon when I could have just as well walked free. I have a key in my pocket next to my heart called Promise that I'm sure will open any lock in Doubting Castle. Stupid. It's been like 7 days. How did you not think of that? Hopeful could not believe what he was hearing. That's good news, Christian. Pull it out of your pocket and try it right now. Christian took the key and began to try the lock of the dungeon door, whose bolt, as he turned the key, sprang back easily. The cell door flew wide open, freeing Christian and Hopeful. Next, they made their way to the castle yard door, and his key easily opened that door as well. Eventually, they arrived at the iron gate, which also had to be opened for them to escape. Christian found that lock a little harder to turn, but when it finally did, they threw open the gates and quickly escaped. However, the hinges made such a loud creaking sound that it woke Giant Despair, who jumped out of bed to pursue his prisoners. As he did, he fell into another one of his seizures, making it impossible for him to chase them. After escaping, Christian and Hopeful made it back to the King's Highway, where they were safe once again and out of the giant's jurisdiction. Once they had returned over the steps of the fence, they began to discuss what should be done at those steps to prevent others that would come after them from falling into the hands of Giant Despair. They agreed to erect a sign with clear instructions written on it, saying, "Over these steps is the way to Doubting Castle, whose lord is Giant Despair, and who despises the king of the celestial country, and seeks to kill all who go there." As a result, many pilgrims that came after them read the sign and escaped the danger. Yay! After they sang, "Out of the way we went, and then we found what was to tread upon forbidden ground, and let them that come after have a care lest heedlessness make them as we to fare. Lest they for trespassing his prisoners are, whose castles doubting and whose names despair. Yay! Happy times. I literally was like, the sun fainting thing has to be how they escape. I don't remember him having a key. That was not, that totally came out of nowhere for me. If only it was as easy as pulling it. Yeah, for real. Like, you could have gotten out so long ago. Oh my gosh. But I guess he wasn't able to chase them down. Anyway. I'm not picturing a giant being able to run that fast. But I might be wrong. I don't know. So when I was growing up, we had a book, like, illustrated. Is this book, but it was illustrated. But not in like a kid's way. Like, it was really cool art, really detailed and like creepy, dark. It totally fit the book. So I this is so bad. Okay, I was a kid. And we loved reading. I didn't ever read it all the way through. I just loved looking at the pictures because the art was so cool. So I don't remember what happens in the story. I just remember the pictures. So I'm just picturing. I feel like he's not the fastest runner because I'm picturing the art from the book, and it made him look more like a giant, like, troll kind of guy, and he just didn't look fast. Plus, I think they said something about him having bad joints, like he's old. So, anyway, um, cool. The end. I think I'm going to. I'm so happy you're here, Solus. Seriously. Um, I'm gonna stream again Thursday, I think, for right now we're in the middle of The Wind in the Willows. It's absolutely wonderful, so I hope you're able to catch it and listen to that. Um I seriously I love it so much. So everybody though, thank you to everybody who watched, is currently watching after it's been posted, blah blah blah. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope you guys catch my next stream. If you want like updates, just I think if you just subscribe, turn on your notifications, it'll tell you when I go live again. But I also post updates on when I'm planning to go live on my Twitter, so you can follow me there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I also need to work on some new projects. I have like 2, 3 birthday cards to make, so I might stream some of that process too soon. But yeah. Okie dokie, sounds good. Seriously, lovely to see you again. Honestly, hope you're doing amazing. Hope I see you guys Thursday. I'll keep you updated on that. You too, man. Seriously, so happy. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah. Have a good night.